All right, if you've spent any time at all working with data, you've definitely met VLOOKUP. But when you're ready to level up, to build financial models that are truly robust and bulletproof, it's time for the professionals upgrade. So let's dive into the dynamic duo that really separates the pros from the amateurs: index and match.
The best way to think about it is like this. VLOOKUP is your reliable sedan. It's familiar, it's comfortable, it gets you from A to B. But index match, now that is a high-performance sports car. It's faster, it's way more flexible, and it can handle any curve you throw at it. It's what the pros drive.
Okay, so you're probably wondering what really makes this sports car so much better. I mean, why bother learning a whole new formula when VLOOKUP seems to work just fine most of the time? Well, the answer lies in a hidden, and frankly, a very dangerous, weakness.
So let's pop the hood on VLOOKUP, shall we? You see, the very thing that makes it so popular, its simplicity, is also its biggest trap, especially when you're in a world where models are constantly being changed and updated.
Take a look here. This is a totally standard, everyday VLOOKUP. It's looking up a company, it's pulling the revenue growth from the fourth column. Everything looks perfect, the numbers are right, the model's working. Simple, right?
But watch this. A colleague comes in and adds just one new column, and just like that, your formula is toast. But here's the really terrifying part. Excel doesn't scream at you. There's no error message. It just quietly starts pulling the wrong data because it's still looking in column 4. This right here is a silent model killer.
And this is the fatal flaw, right here. VLOOKUP relies on a static, hard-coded number. Any little change to your table structure completely breaks the logic. And in the world of serious financial modeling, that kind of risk is it's a non-starter.
So, what's the fix? How do we build something that doesn't break so easily? Well, we bring in a specialist team. Meet Index and Match. They're actually pretty simple on their own, but when they team up, they create something that's totally dynamic and elegant.
Now, the trick here is to stop thinking of this as some big, scary, complicated formula. It's really just a two-part system. First, you've got Match. Think of it as your search engine. All it does is ask, hey, where is my item in this list? Then you have Index, which is your return engine. It just asks, okay, great, what is the item in that spot?
So let's break that down piece by piece. I promise, once you see how each part works on its own, putting them together is going to feel completely natural.
It really is this simple. It's a two-step dance. First, Match finds the position number. Then second, Index takes that number and returns whatever value is sitting in that exact spot. Search, then return. That's all there is to it.
All right, first up, our search engine, the match function. You give it what you're looking for, tell it where to look, and then you give it a match type. And here's a pro tip, and it's a big one. For financial modeling, you are almost always going to use a 0. That tells Excel, I need an exact match, no substitutes. Check this out. We're using match to find Acme Corp in our list. Now notice what it gives back, the number 3. It's not giving us the company name, it's telling us its position. Acme Corp is the 3rd item on the list. And that number, that's the golden ticket for our next step.
Okay, on to part 2, our return engine Index. And this one is, believe it or not, even simpler. It doesn't search for a thing, you just give it a range of cells, your answer column, and you tell it which number position to go get. You give it the coordinates, it brings back the treasure. And here is where the magic happens. We take our list of growth rates, and we tell Index, hey, go look in this column and give me the item from position number 3, the number Match just found for us, and boom, it returns the exact corresponding growth rate. We've just created a dynamic link.
So you nest them together, and this is what you get. The index function sits on the outside, pointing to the column with your final answer. And on the inside, the match function does all the hard work, dynamically feeding the correct row number to Index. It's robust, it's flexible, and it will not break if you add new columns.
But wait, it gets even better. What if you need to look something up based on both a row and a column? This is where Index Match unleashes its superpower, the two-way lookup. I mean, think about any financial model you've ever built. You always have a table that looks like this, right? You've got your metrics down the side and years going across the top. How in the world do you pull the EBITDA margin for the year 2026 and only that one cell?
It's actually pretty clever. You just use match twice.
The first match finds the correct row number for EBITDA margin. The second match finds the correct column number for 2026. Then index just takes both of those coordinates and plucks the value from their exact intersection. It's like a game of Battleship, and you get a direct hit every single time.
And this beast of a formula is how you do it. You have index wrapping the entire data table. Then you have one match for the row and a second match for the column. Honestly, this right here, this is the bedrock of dynamic professional-grade modeling.
Okay, so now that you get the how, let's talk about a few key best practices. This will make sure you're using this skill like a pro and avoiding all the common traps.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking, what about the new XLOOKUP function? And yeah, XLOOKUP is awesome. It's simple, it's easy to read. If everyone on your team has Microsoft 365, it's fantastic for basic lookups. But if your file needs to work for someone on an older version of Excel, you need index match. And for those powerful two-way lookups we just saw, you guessed it, index match is still king.
And finally, please watch out for these common rookie mistakes. First, mismatched range sizes. Make sure the column you're searching and the column you're pulling from are the exact same height. Second, I'm going to say it again, always use that 0 for an exact match. Third, plan for lookups that might fail by wrapping your formula in IFRR. And lastly, for better performance, try to avoid referencing entire columns. It can really slow your spreadsheets down.
So let's bring it all home with this super simple mental model. Just think, step 1, match asks, where is it? Step 2, index asks, what is it? And put them together, you get a flexible, unbreakable lookup, the absolute foundation of pro-level analysis.
Look, at the end of the day, mastering this is about way more than just learning a new formula. You're unlocking the ability to build models that are more dynamic, more reliable, and ultimately more insightful. You can now pull any piece of data from anywhere you want. So the real question is, what are you going to go find?